Alright, so with Kelsey's hair, just using scissor comb, it's also good to, sometimes with scissor comb, we'll have little bumps. We'll have lines in the hair because you're kind of chopping away at it. That's why if you use a thinning shear, a softening shear, that'll really take care of it or really help. Some people is kind of just start cutting away and it'll be line. They're like, great, well, how do you get rid of that? How do I get rid of that? Oh, let's go shorter. And then the client's like, well, I don't want to be shorter. So if you have a good flow and have a good finger movement with your thumb instead of just clapping up and down with the scissors. And if you just kind of do it nice and smooth, the faster you go, the easier it is, but you also have to have control. So also, one more thing to add, use a white towel and lift it up behind the client when looking in the mirror, and you can see where your balance is. One side has a bump, and the other side doesn't.
Have you guys ever been doing a haircut and maybe you have a black shirt on, and the girl's got dark brown hair or black hair, and it's just like it's like she's disappearing in your shirt or you're standing behind. So that's a very good tip. Just hold up a white towel, wear a white shirt even, why not?
I was going through and cutting my bangs here. I suck at cutting bangs. I can do everything else well except sideburns and bangs. It takes me a while to really...
It's like Shaquille O'Neal free throws.
Yeah, I slam it down home. But the bangs, I visualize, this time I'm going to get it, this time I'm going to get it, this time I'm going to get it. Oh snap. So close. So what I've learned to do is to work on it enough to where I get to the point where I'm not embarrassed by it. I say, oh, that's good enough. And what helped me on her, since her eyes are so blue, I told her to close her eyes, because every time I look at her bangs, she's looking at me, and I'm just like, oh, focus, Russell, focus. So, sorry to finish. See, I get to say anything I want to do. Backstage, that's a different story. So I've gone through and cut her bangs, and I like to go through and it's my sparkling personality. I like to go through and cut it. If I want a solid bang, I'll go through and cut it blunt. And then if I need to control the way it shifts, I'll point cut whatever way that I want the hair to control. So if I have something that's shifting one way, I'll point cut the opposite way to help control that shift a little bit. And as we were talking about earlier, cutting hair is about minute pieces, minute sections of hair, minute length differences. And that's what separates a good haircut from something that's really great and really spectacular. It is just, millimeters, micrometers. That's what separates. You've all seen scissor over comb, and you can go through and do it in a couple of passes, and you say, oh, well, he's only paying $10, what's he want? Kick him in the chair, get him out. Or you spend more time and you really work it, and it's that fine tuning that really, really makes something great. And the client notices and everybody else notices, and what you want is the client to leave and everyone to say, oh my God, your hair looks beautiful. That's when you got it. That's when you got that person coming back.
Okay, so with Hillary, like I said, we started with with that nice graduated bob shape. Just real simple, as classic as it gets. I'll show the other side. So that's still prevalent on this side. As we move here, I went through diagonal back sections, natural fall, just combing the hair straight down to gravity around the face. One little piece there, that's always how that goes. You know, real proper precision haircuts, I feel like I could spend 3 hours on one. So things like that. Okay, so diagonal back sections, natural fall in front of the ear, and then I lifted it up about 1 finger's depth, meaning about 1 finger or 2 fingers away from the face, just to give it that little bit of graduation that doubles it down like that. Then behind the ear, continuing the diagonal back sections, 45 degrees, and then just working through my previously done graduation into this side. Okay, also on the fringe, I took it slightly just following her brow, just took it up here and let it fall into what else was going on. The last thing I did is right on the side here, I just took diagonal forward sections, 90 degrees off the round of the head, and just trimmed off just the tiniest little bit of the corner that was left from the graduation on the side. All right? Thank you.
What I wanted to do is I wanted to create the round graduation I wanted. I left this connection that I already had previously cut, that I had channel cut or freehand carved from short to long, and then I did a short to long with the over direction on top, previously cut. On this side I took, brought everything down to 1 finger's depth. I tried to create a really nice hard line up until I've been really into exposing half of the ear on the female lately. I love that. And even now more, I love carving completely out around the ear like a guy's cut. I think it's the best. And then, so I tapered this in, took my diagonal back sections, creating movement, bringing this weight line lower in the back. And then I created these pin curls and I really just wanted to take it up a notch and take it to the next level with that.
I love how you did those pin curls. I want to touch on the pin curls for a second. You know, it's almost like a lost art form, the pin curling, you know? And some people do an iron first or do them wet. Those are going to give you a lot harder of a pin curl that you can't really stretch out. Now what Joe did with this, correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, is just power dried the hair, went through section by section, pinching sections up, quick hairspray, wrap it around his finger, pin it down. And that's where he gets that expansion that comes off the side of the head like that. I love that. It's beautiful.
You'll see, I don't think it's a boyish cut. I think it's very feminine. And it's very sexy on there. So people always get confused on how short to take the sides or how short to do the top. You can kind of see it's longer on this side. She's got a strong fringe, pretty tight barbering. So usually I use the top as your guide to determine the length on your sides. You can do the other way around. I don't really recommend that. Or if you want, you can disconnect the top. Either way. Besides the point, I just did square layers in the top, pulled everything square. Towards the fringe, I over-directed it back, and I leave some of the length. Once I did that, I pulled everything square to the side. So I pulled it out straight like this. Just cut a square all the way around. Could you turn it on for me? Just cut a square all the way around, work to this side. Then just started doing scissor over comb, really clean, really tight. You can use clippers. I like scissors, a little bit softer, to softer grow out, not as harsh as clippers. You can turn it on for me. Then from the top, I over-directed this section all the way over to this. So this is short. Once you over-direct it, it pushes long. You have this long little mohawk kind of style. Once I over-directed that, then I had her fringe. Pretty bold, pretty strong fringe. Now shows our eyes, pretty nice. I like it. Also, one more thing, I kind of gave a little asymmetrical sideburn because I just wanted to do it. Thanks.
Razor one-length bob, simple shape. It's got a lot of external texture on the edges. I went through and texturized the tips a little bit differently than you normally would. Instead of just randomly texturizing, I went through and did it with a systematic pattern. Cut her bangs. The hardest part for me is to not be so anal about everything being perfect. I have to allow myself some slop factor because I used a razor. But besides that, I think it looks pretty good. Thank you very much.